everyone? I'm Ronan and Chain, and welcome to Bottles and Bricks, a Last of Us podcast. I'm your co-host, and with me, as always, is Sam from Team JVS. Sam, how you doing, my friend?
I'm tired, ready to go to sleep. But I'm
uh,
here. I'm happy. I'm here.
I, that is truthful, and I understand it a mile away, especially now that the holiday seasons are kicking in. But in coming with the holiday seasons, we've been given a few gifts. Folks, we finally got a release date from HBO's Last of Us show, and we also have an announcement from Naughty Dog not too long ago that Kickstarter and Thorn, I believe is the company, correct me if I'm wrong, is releasing a board game out now that you can join up and help reach their goals. But we're going to talk about it right now soon. But first, let's talk about the HBO show that you and I are just waiting to just get another peek of this. Besides what the trailer has been showing us, folks, January 14th. Mark your calendars. Get your popcorn, soda ready. Get your bottles and your bricks and your baseball bats set. Keep quiet and ready to watch the show land on HBO on the 15th of January on Sunday, and it's coming out at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also you'll be able to stream it on 4K in HBO Max.
Oh,
Um,
snap.
yeah, this I'm shocked it's gonna be that early. We're getting it that early. From what they've been teasing us, it would almost be like come July, come August, get ready to go into the outbreak world. Da, 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 da. Nope. It's like after Christmas, hold on to your butts and get your tissue boxes ready. Um, this is very fascinating, Sam, because this is before Mandalorian season 3. And if my Star Wars calendar is correct, is almost the same time as Bad Batch season 2 is dropping. Now, that show's release dates have been going back and forth since Tales of the Jedi has come into our lives. Um, but this is the start of the year of Pedro Pascal. Do you think it's just about the right time for us to getting it? What are your thoughts on the release dates and the fact that we're getting 9 episodes at 9 p.m.? They're not nine episodes per weekly, and that it's going to be coming out not at midnight, but usually around the same time HBO shows like House of the Dragon have been coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. My biggest thing is that one thing that HBO has is notoriety. Any show that they have coming out that's big, considered a quote unquote big show,
Yeah.
everyone is going to be talking about it. And I can foresee, like, come January 15th, right around 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, everybody in the world going to be like, what are y'all talking about? Either they've watched it or they're going to be like, oh, let me go ahead and jump on this and watch it for the encore presentation. And the funny thing is going to be really interesting because, I mean, we're going to be there, you guys. We're going to be talking. We're going to be, dead center in it. But everybody else, they're probably going to have their own exclusive official podcast. They're going to have behind the scenes features. Like, HBO is going to plug this up because they know until the Jon Snow show comes, or until, House of the Dragon season 2 comes, or until certain other stuff comes, this is the show that they're platforming as the next big thing. On top of the fact that Walking Dead has one more episode and it's done officially. So it's going to be very intriguing to me day one. I think that it's going to be a hit just because people are going to be curious. Those of us that are Last of Us fans, it'll be just like the first episode of The Walking Dead when it came out, and those people that read the comics
Books.
and and they had all those different omni books and stuff like that, and they're like, oh my gosh, I think it's going to be that same exact vibe. But just know, if you're watching this and you know nothing about Last of Us, this is not The Walking Dead. It is very different. It is vastly different. Conceptually, there's similarities.
Yes.
But It is very different. Specifically when it comes to the human element of a lot of it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
without saying too much.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way now. For if they're doing it right, and I'm not sure to say it right, or if they're doing the game right, if they're honoring the spirits, you're not following a group, you're following just two people and the people that impact their lives. And then you're just gonna be looking over your shoulder every time to wonder if a bullet's gonna come through them or if an infect is gonna come through them. And um again, I'm not spiking the Walking Dead community because I respect it and all that stuff. But this is, and I told you from the beginning, this is my Walking Dead. This is what like. Again, I have a damn statue of Ellie. I have the giraffe plushie. People will be like, "What's the big deal with the giraffe?" You wait. You wait. If they do it, you wait for what that means and what that implies. And the fact that we're getting 9 episodes. I mean, you said it best of like people can be talking about it. If they follow how the game opens, people can be like, yo, is this just the first episode? Is this what we're gonna get our hands on? I mean, and the fact that people who have 4K TVs are gonna experiencing it to the fullest detail. I mean, yeah, this feels like the network or the platform of HBO Max is putting all their chips on it and be like, all right, we believe in it and we know we can't F it up.
Yeah.
I dude, I can't stop rewatching that trailer. Just hearing that Hank Williams song and Pet, and I get it. People saying keep your expectations low, don't spoil it for yourself. But these characters mean so much to me. Um, and yet I'm open to seeing other people other than Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson play them. That's how much um, uh, willing I am to give them the benefit of the doubt to not hurt me, not to break my heart, and be like, you know what? Troy Baker said they took a month per episode to film, so that means they're not effing with it. So I have no doubt until the first episode ends. I'm gonna be there, and yes, folks. Again, I love doing this podcast with y'all, but when that show hits, it's gonna be like even as much. And I'm excited for Bad Batch. Make no mistake, anybody in the channel. I'm excited for Bad Batch as well to cover it exactly as well. But this is one that not like Star Wars that's been here since the 70s. It's only been over a decade now, or no, about a decade. And it's like, yo, people have been trying to make a movie out of this, and you got a show now. Don't f it up. That's all I ask. Just don't f
So
it up.
so this is what you need to prepare your heart for. Two different things. One is a positive and a negative, and the other one, I don't know how you're gonna react to it. The first one is that if and when this show hits, like I mean really hits hard and does well, that Last of Us 3 game is coming. Because they have to be able to continue narrative. Like it can't just end the way that everything ends in the second game. They have to continue the narrative so that they can be able to have longevity for the series. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like Game
prepare
of
your heart
Thrones.
for that.
Yeah.
First. The second thing that I'll say, and I'll say this nicely, I think you need to, and I'm not just speaking to Ronan, I'm speaking to everybody, including myself. There may be a possibility that the way they craft this from a narrative standpoint may be vastly different than the way that the game conveys it. One of the things I love about games is that games now flow, narratively speaking, like movies do.
Right.
There are some comic books and there's some things that other media you watch, they can't necessarily flow like in an actual series because they're coming from a movie to a series. So with this, the weird thing about The Last of Us, it does feel like a very long 3-hour, 4-hour movie, but there are ways to make sure it adapts as a series, but it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult and very different. I think Damian Lindelof, the way that he handled Watchmen for HBO was very unique because he was like, look, this is it. This is all it is. But they're pitching this like this is not a miniseries. This is going to be season 1. So the approach to storytelling may be different. And I think you need to know that they're going to do justice to the characters, know that they're going to do justice to the surface level of the core of it. But the way they're going to tell the story is going to be, I think it's going to be vastly different. I don't think there's no way they can adapt it to be exactly like the game.
1-to-1, right?
I don't. I think it's unrealistic to believe that because if you're gonna make it into multiple different seasons, then it's gonna like, how does that look? Like you're gonna be going the first season halfway through the way the way that the first game gets to the midway point, or you're gonna skip all the way to the end. Like no, like they're gonna have to do it completely differently because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself in from a narrative.
Burn it off.
They could introduce characters this season that are in the second game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that so that people can prepare themselves because the problem is, and this is not just with this show, this is also with movies, especially us comic book fans.
Yeah.
Where we already have our expectations and our perspective of where the story should go or what's right, quote unquote. And then we're immediately let down because we already had our preconceived notions about what it was going to be anyway. And I think that this is such a good story and such a good subject matter that I don't want anybody to do that going in. Like I would just say, look, just hold on for the ride. Those people that don't even know Last of Us may have a way better experience than we do, possibly.
In some cases, I do believe that'll be the fact. Yeah. But as we've been repeating it, we're gonna be covering it the minute that thing hits the fan. We are gonna be like the first people in line, be like, "All right, let's do this. Everybody else, hold on, and don't let go until it ends. Then we, let go and see how we all feel about it." But besides just a TV show we're getting, we've gotten a graphic novel before or a comic book series first. We've gotten a part 2. We've gotten a multiplayer before, but I cannot recall us getting a board game of this world and just seeing us just play it through enough perspective. And I was shocked that they were going to go this route, and yet I welcomed it because I'm like, there's so much more you can do with this than just a video game and um, uh, a movie or a TV show adaptation. Like I've been begging them to do more comic books about this world, these characters. So the fact that they're doing The Last of Us Escape the Dark from Themeborne and with partnership with Naughty Dog is just exciting to me. And again, I never played these too much board games before, but I backed it already. I backed the collector's edition, which there's one like this that's just the regular standard one. But the unique thing about this one is that it comes with these figurines, small ones of Joe and Ellie, and with I think more characters that you'll end up meeting in the show. And if you already play the games, you know what characters I'm talking about. But look at that design, dude. Are you a board game person, Sam, or no?
So I used to be a really big board game person. I'm not anymore. But I'd be willing to play this with friends. It's weird because I'm in a different place in my life. Like I've got like little kids.
Yeah.
I can't play it with them. And my wife doesn't play board games, so I wouldn't play with her. It'd be kind of like, I don't know who I would play it with. But if it was kind of like I was in college or, I had like a group, we did like D&D or something like that on a regular basis, then I'm like, yeah, let's just try to play this. I will say this. As much as I love this image, I think it's amazing. I think it would be a dope little like steel book for like the second game or even the first game.
Right.
The problem that I have from a marketing standpoint is that if you've never heard of The Last of Us, you look at this and be like, it's a Demogorgon. And that's the problem. That is the whole problem because you don't want to cross promote something for people's expectations to be changed one way or another. So what I'm saying is that like a lot of people be like, "Yo, the Demogorgons are now turning into the humans. This is Stranger Things season 5. Oh my god!"
Is this a
You know,
spin-off?
like nah. That's my only gripe with this. I appreciate it, but if you
Yeah,
didn't know what Last of Us was, you'd be like, "Is Last of Us a part of Stranger Things?"
yeah,
Like, I think that's my only gripe with it, as far as the image is concerned.
yeah. Again, I think this is. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna just try to drag people to play with me. But I think if and when we do meet up with you and other friends of ours, I think I'm gonna be taking with me poker cards and chips,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna be taking this just to be like, all right, how is this gonna end up? Who knows how it's gonna be? I mean, I think it's 6 players can play this game. It's got cards and whatnot. And again, as someone who's not used to playing an RPG game, this is just fascinating to me. And this is the power of this franchise. I backed it, and I don't know how it's gonna go. And I just feel like, you know what? This isn't just another entry into the game, video games. It's not just a part of the TV show or movie that was gonna be made. It is something more along the lines of what they did with the the comic book miniseries. So whenever this franchise enters another medium, I am game for it. No pun intended. To see how they can expand on it and if they can tell new stories about it. So to the people at Themeborne and Naughty Dog teaming up, I appreciate that they made this effort to do this. And I just double checked now. I think they reached their goal already, dude. It's just the first day. It's not even 24 hours since they launched, and they already reached the goal. I think.
That's
Which
ridiculous.
yeah, which says something about this franchise. But hopefully, people can still back it until it ends and get themselves a copy of this and be able to play it with their loved ones or fellow survivors. Folks, we are now 2 months away from Last of Us just being more than a game. And I've told people that, like, and I told you, Sam, about it, that some people be like, you know what, why don't you just play the game? The game is it. That's it. It's a TV show. It's a movie. And I completely 100% agree with them when they say that. However, I have to come to terms that not everybody's sister, brother, cousin, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, in-laws are not gonna want to pick up a joystick or a dual shock and sit through that. Some people just want to see the story presented to themselves. And I mean, I told you a while back that Sam Raimi wanted to do this, wanted to produce the movie, and
Mhm.
I think after the experience that people had with Part Two, I am just pumped to see what new people are going to do with his characters and this world. And I've seen some images from behind the scenes of like just people on the sets and whatnot, and it's like they went out of the way to shut down a freeway or a whole block or a few blocks just to shoot Joe and Ellie walking down a post-apocalyptic world. So it feels like they're not messing with it, and I'm just pumped. I'm just pumped to do this. And I just got notified that I'll be getting my Joel statue from Dark Horse Comics pretty soon. Finally, after a year and a half of waiting. So we'll definitely review this next time we come to talk about this. And I just hope we can get more people involved to talk about this, because the more people are exposed to this, not just us two dudes, the more it grows up. It's what I'm as excited to watch the show. I'm excited to talk about this franchise and the show with other people as well. But it starts off with not just me facing a webcam and a mic. It also comes down to Sam joining me on this journey with bottles and bricks. Sam, this was fun to just get out of the way and be like, you know what, we got a release date, and it's not that far out, and some updates on this franchise. Sam, where can people find you?
Oh, yeah. Where is it? Is it right here? Yeah, Team JVS. You can find us on social medias like TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. We do reviews, discussions. breakdowns, interviews, but you also can find me specifically at Super SEL0320. I'm on Twitter, I'm on TikTok as well. And I'm also on Instagram to get some of my private content. I just actually uploaded my mini review of Wakanda Forever on TikTok literally just a few seconds ago. So go and check that out. Yeah, nah, this was fun. The only thing that I was gonna say to you is that I need that factions. I need factions too. I'm saying I need factions too. It don't gotta be free. I'll pay $30.
Pay $30. I get it. I get it. Come next year's video game awards or E3, Naughty Dog, you gotta give some update to my man about the damn games or multiplayer or just factions, please. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out us talking about this franchise that we love so much. And just 2 more months to when hell's gonna break over. And until that time, I wish everybody this quote: to the edge of the universe and back, endure and survive.